So I'm having a hard time doing two things at the same time, but I will learn. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. So for any returning subscriber, it is amazing to have you back. Welcome back. And for anybody new, hi, my name is Adysse. So today I'm just going to be doing a get ready with me while I talk about self-love. So this is a topic that I personally have struggled with for many years, and it's probably in the last, I would say, couple of years that I've really put effort into improving my self-love. So today it's mostly going to be about putting yourself first. So I came up with 5 tips that I have found very helpful, that have helped me in my journey, and I'm just gonna be sharing it with you. So stay tuned. So I already prepped my skin. If you missed the video on how I prepped my skin, I'm going to be putting the link in the description box down below. I'm also, if I could figure it out, it's gonna pop up somewhere in this video. Not sure where, but it's gonna pop up somewhere. So it's basically just step-by-step routine for oily skin. So I'm in the what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do my eyebrows first. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so first things first. Putting yourself first does not mean that you're selfish, okay? Repeat after me. Putting myself first does not mean that I am selfish. Okay, just say that a few times. Say it until you believe it. It's gonna take a while. But yeah, so there's a big misconception thinking that putting yourself first means that you're a selfish person. It does not mean that. Of course, if you put yourself first too much and you never ever think about other people, then yes, it's a problem. But just putting yourself first and your interests first does not mean that you're selfish, okay? We're just gonna start with that. So the first tip that I will give you is find your trigger. What I mean by trigger is there's usually a deeper reason as to why you feel the need to always put others before yourself. So, it could be because of self-esteem issues. It could be because you are unhappy with your current situation, so it's just easier for you to distract yourself with other people and helping them out. It could be because you're afraid of disappointing others, and you just kind of got into the habit of always pleasing other people. So basically, find out what your trigger is and find out why that is your trigger. Like, is there something that happened to you, or is it just, you know, out of habit that you just started doing it and you don't know how else to do things? And find out what is it that you can do about it. Because of self-esteem issues, it's just easier to think about other people than yourself, because there's some things about yourself that you don't like. Maybe work on that. You know, for instance, let's just say you have weight issues where you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to gain weight and it's just not working, and in order to distract yourself from your own issues, you decide to focus on other people. Then, you know, maybe face that issue and decide to do something for yourself. You know, I know it's not easy. It's not as simple as just like do it. But thinking about it is already a step forward. My makeup routine is all over the place. I just do what I want to do, how I want to do it, how I feel it. It's never really consistent. So please don't judge me. So my second tip is daily affirmations. I know, super corny, I know, but it works. So for those who are not quite sure what daily affirmations are, they are positive and simple statements that you tell yourself to empower you. They don't have to be very complicated. They're usually very simple things. But there is a lot of power in words, and setting up your mind with positive thoughts goes a long way. I do it every single day when I wake up. You know, after actually waking up because I'm groggy for a few minutes, I just sit down and I have a little notebook where I wrote down a few things, and I just repeat them and say them out loud. There are very generic things you can say, but think about your qualities. Like, focus on good and positive things about yourself. It could be something very small, like something you accomplished, or your qualities, or just what do you like about yourself. You know, think positive thoughts, and I would highly recommend doing them in the morning, just because it's good to start off your day with a positive mindset. So yeah, second tip, daily affirmations. All right, so third tip is making a list of your goals and priorities. So you can make a list for the month, you can make a list for the week, you can make a list for the day, but it's very important that you note down your priorities. There's just something about having them written, whether it's by typing them on a computer or on your phone or writing them down on a piece of paper. There's just something about actually putting them into words that is just so powerful. So I highly suggest that you make a list of your priorities, and that you don't let anybody, don't let anybody stop you from accomplishing them. It doesn't matter how small your little goal or priority is. So I usually do it per week. I have a list of things that I want to accomplish that week, and I also do kind of a little list for the day. I sit down and I write down little goals for the day. And for me, it really helps, just because otherwise, if I don't have any structure, I might end up just not doing anything. So it might be as simple as, like, I separate it. I do maybe 2-3 goals for the morning, for the afternoon, and for the evening. So for the morning, I'll put something like, you know, making myself a cup of tea. And then I'll put something like on my first break stretch. Very simple. And then for the afternoon, I'll find something else to put in there. And then in the evening, I'll usually put, because I work a 9-to-5 job, so for the evening, I'll usually put something like film a YouTube video, or do a photo shoot, or edit YouTube videos, or cook, or something. And I highly recommend that whatever it is that you put on your list, don't overfill it. Put very generic things, because one thing I realize is sometimes you just don't feel like it, or sometimes you need more time. So don't fill it up with too many things, but set up priorities that are achievable. Make it realistic. And like I said, don't let anybody stop you from accomplishing those priorities. And it's really good to come back on it. Like, at the end of the day, I usually look at my list and I look at what was it that I was able to do, what was it I wasn't able to do. I do the same thing for the weekly one that I do, and I ask myself, like, why couldn't I do it? If I couldn't do it because I was missing time, because let's just say I planned on editing a video in 2 days and it took me 3 days, that is fine. It just means that it took me longer. It's okay. But if I couldn't edit because I decided, somebody called me and they're like, hey, you want to go take a walk? And I decided to go on the walk instead of doing that thing that was for me, then there's a problem. Like, every now and then, it's fine. You know, it's not good to structure your life too much. But if you find yourself missing a lot of your priorities because you're doing other stuff for other people, there's a problem. Tip number 4: make enough time for yourself. If you find yourself always rushing, always running around doing stuff, it's because you're running out of time. I personally suffer with very poor time management skills, but I've been getting better. A lot of it is I just procrastinate. But even when I'm not procrastinating, I realize that a lot of my time was just going to others instead of going to me. So I was constantly always lacking time. So figure out where it is that most of your time is going and see if there's any way you can cut down on it. Of course, some of us are in circumstances where there's not much we can do about us running out of time at the moment. Especially, let's just say that you're full-time in school and working and having to do your homework and just a bunch of stuff that happen, that's fine. But if you look at it as in the long run, if that's gonna be your life, that's gonna be very stressful. That's one thing I'm just gonna say. It's gonna be very stressful. So figure out where most of your time is going, and you will realize that if you are like me, a lot of your time is going to other people, and use the time that you are giving other people and spend more time with yourself. That is very important. I know that some people have FOMO, some people are extroverts, so they prefer being with other people than being by themselves. But it is very important and very healthy to be able to spend time by yourself, with yourself. So do simple things like you can go exercise, take a walk, read a book, cook, play an instrument, draw, paint, find a hobby that you enjoy that you can do by yourself, and give yourself some time. And I would say at least once a week, give yourself some time to just be by yourself and spend time by yourself. And it is also a very healthy thing to do. If you're not unable to be by yourself at all, there's something deeper there that you should probably take time to think about and try to figure out. So what I do is I usually take a walk and I just put my music, or I'll bring a notebook or whatever, or I'll take my camera because I love taking pictures, and that is my time. That is my me time. I have been giving myself a lot more me time, and I realized that I love it. Like, I love spending time with myself. Like, I'm fun. I'm weird. I'm very, very odd, but I love it. Like, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's great. And it lets me breathe. It lets me meditate. It lets me just think. It lets me just relax. So I highly recommend just making time for yourself. I repeated that several times, so I hope you remember this. Make time for yourself. Alright, so now it's time for the eyelashes, other eye. I was successful with this one. This is a hit or miss, you know? We never know. You never know.
Eventually,
I think it worked. I'm not gonna jinx myself, so I'm just gonna. So our final step number 5, is learn to say no. I'm just gonna let that sink in. In fact, I'll repeat it. Learn to say no. Okay, actually, I'm gonna go and look at no in different languages, in case you're not very comfortable saying it in English. No in different languages. All right, so we have no in English, non in French, apana in Swahili, te in Lingala,
na in Bengali, ne in Bulgarian. I'm not even gonna try with the Cantonese one. Na in Farsi, lo in Hebrew, nem in Hungarian, ne in Icelandic,
and so on and so on. And so on. So I know this one is probably the toughest of them all. This is where the fear of disappointing, of hurting others, comes back, especially if you are too nice. But it is very essential for your own well-being. People get used to rely on you whenever you're always available, and that's why they're always gonna ask you. And it's not ill-intended, it's just that you have given that image that you're always gonna be there, you're always available, you're always putting others first, that people will keep on asking, and they will ask, and they'll 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 ask some more. It's just essential to learn how to say no. And this one is very tough, something I still struggle till this day. But I'm getting better. And a lot of times you don't have to be mean when you say no. So one thing I've learned is, before, whenever somebody would ask me to do something with them, to hang out or whatever, and I was exhausted, I had a little bit of time or whatnot, I was always there raking my brain to find a good excuse as to why I can say no. And quite frankly, that would stress me out so much, because I cannot lie to save my life. So I would stress out even more about having to say no. And then I'd stress out about finding an excuse that goes with my no. So then I just end up going, because I stress myself out so much that it's at that point I might as well go. But I've learned to just be honest, and especially if that person's your friend, if they're closer to you, they will understand. They will understand that you can get exhausted. They'll understand that you need to give yourself some time. They will understand that you're unavailable. And a lot of times you honestly just have to say, I'm sorry, I'm unavailable. That's it. You'll find that a lot of people don't insist as soon as you say you're unavailable. And if they do, just tell them the truth. Just say something like, you have been running around all week and you need to catch up on some things, or that you just have some free time and there are things that you want to do. And worst case, if they continue on insisting, you just say, hey, I need to take a few days for my mental health. And you'll find a lot of people are going to back off. And if somebody really insisted, despite you saying that, then you have to reevaluate your friendship. I'm just saying, reevaluate how important they value you, because if somebody tells me that they need to cater to their mental health, I'm sorry, I'm backing away. And for me, I don't even, like, if I'll just ask you once, if you say no, I'm unavailable, I will not even take offense to it. I understand people are busy, people have other things to do, and sometimes even when somebody has absolutely nothing to do, that's their time. That's for them to just relax and, you know, like, meditate and just spend time for themselves. So learn to say no. I'm telling you, once you've said it the first time, it gets addictive. People will be asking you questions that, you know, that are not even yes no questions, and you'll be there like, no, 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 no. So learn to say no. Kind of look like a person now. Now I just gotta go and put some powder, put some setting spray, put a little bit of lipstick or lip gloss on, and I'm good to go. Okay, so I noticed that the light has changed, and that's just because I mostly rely on sunlight, but the sun decided to set quicker than I thought it was gonna set, so like the lighting is different. But it's okay. This is my finished look. It's a little bit off, but it's okay. I'm still cute, okay? So I hope that this video helped, especially those who struggle with self-love like myself, mainly in the area of putting yourself first. Remember that you are not selfish for putting yourself first. Remember that you are special, you are important, and you matter. So treat yourself the same way you would treat somebody that's worth it. Because boo, you worth it, okay? You are worth it. And so I hope you all like this video. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all on my next video. Stay blessed.